Ow, damn hair clip. Let's make my basket look cute and take out all the stuff that isn't MAC, cause you gon' call me a liar. Hey guys, hope you all have been well. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be playing with some MAC products and do almost a full face of MAC. I promised you guys I would do this video, and I've done one before when I still had a rather large MAC collection and did a full face. So now we've downsized and we're almost at a full face. These products have made it through many declutters, still maintain their place in my collection, and so I know that I love them that much to keep them, given these many years that I've had the opportunity to get rid of them. So this is the final makeup look. It's going to be quite chatty, so get ready to buckle down and enjoy some, makeup chit chat. With that said, let's get straight into the tutorial. For today, I'm going to be using the Strobe Cream as my primer. I'm going to lay that down first on my face just so you can see it. I usually mix stuff like this in with my foundation, but I wanted to show you the product by itself so you can, see if it's something you might want to consider purchasing. It's kind of like an illuminating product more than anything. It's a little bit of hydration, but nothing too crazy. On my skin, this does come off a bit pink. I would much rather prefer something a little bit more golden, but since I have it, I'm gonna use it. You can see that illumination on my face. So I don't have a foundation, but the closest thing that I can get to a foundation that I normally would purchase or would have purchased from MAC is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. I use the shade Tawny. Previously, I've owned, oh good lord, I've tried a lot of foundations and powders from MAC. I couldn't tell you everything, but I guess the closest I can get to this foundation is Studio Fix, but I think even that's fuller coverage and it's not as mattifying. So I can't really give you a good reference point as it's been years since I've tried a MAC foundation. I don't want to come off being too confident with referring you or recommending you, a foundation. So just take that information how you want to take it, but know that I don't say that with confidence. So whilst I'm buffing this into the skin, I can tell you guys that I did end up purchasing a mic, and hopefully this mic will cancel out the air conditioner noise. I don't think it could ever do that completely. I just think that mics I don't know if we've gotten to that point of designing a microphone quite like that, but it's the microphone that I'm just going to clip onto my shirt. And because it's not too far from me like this shotgun mic is, I think that's what it's called, hopefully it's going to pick up less of the air conditioner, which is blowing in the direction of my camera. Moving on to my concealer, I'm gonna use the Bobbi Brown Corrector, and the reason I'm using this is because it's the most similar formula to the product that I used to use very frequently from MAC, which was the Studio something pot concealer, and it's pretty much a full coverage pot concealer, very creamy and pigmented, similar to this version here. I think that one is still a little bit more pigmented than this is, but it's the closest thing I can give you in terms of reference. The MAC version is a concealer, it's a pot concealer, and that thing is thick. It will cover a lot of things up, but much like other concealers, it's very creamy, and so you have to work with it, warm it up, and make sure it's blended evenly so that you don't get creasing. I much prefer the Pro Longwear concealer. Comes in a little bottle, squeezy top. I think that was better for me. It provided just as much coverage, but it dried down matte, and so I didn't have to worry too much about whether my oils were going to mess up my foundation and concealer. And just like that, I've given up all efforts to keep my hair down. Now we're going to powder, and I'm going to be using my MSF, which happens to stand for Mineralized Skinfinish, and I use the shade Medium Golden. This is what the product looks like. It's very sheer coverage, gives a nice natural glow to the skin. I'm just gonna set that everywhere. I'm not going to cream contour because I don't have MAC products, and I think I'm already starting off with some products that aren't MAC, and I'd hate to extend me showing you products that kind of don't follow with the theme of the video. I was thinking about all the brow products I use for MAC, and I honestly cannot think of that many. I think I had eyeshadow at one point and I used it, but I know that for a lot of my brow products at the time I was using Korean brand eyebrow pencils. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my ABH. ABH is the one that I've used the longest, and I'm just going to apply that onto my brows, come back, and then we will continue on with eyeshadow. Exciting, I know. Bug. So now I'm going to show you a look using some eyeshadows. I did double check, they are available, and I'm going to show you what those are in the order that I'm going to use them in. So I decided to use 2 brights and then 2 like everyday shades. So this first one here is in Rule, kind of a creamy orange, and then we have Red Brick, kind of a fiery orange red. I think it's more orange than red, but that, you know, I might just be really bad at describing color. By the way, I cut my finger yesterday, so that's why it looks like this. Next up we have Ground Brown. I've shown you this a couple times in my quad recommendations video. Same thing with bronze. This is my favorite bronze of all time. I've used many bronze shades, but the way this comes off on my lids, absolutely love. And then lastly, the ever famous Amber Lights. This is still one of the staple shades of MAC, and it's kind of a shift. It has a little bit of that peachiness, but gold as well. I'm going to start off with that first shade, Roll, and I'm going to pop that into my crease and above it to use as my transitional shade. The reason I wanted to do this was because I wanted to show you that there are brights and there are neutral shades that work well in MAC. It may not be the case for every single eyeshadow, which is why I want to show you ones that I like to use and I find is worth the money. Now, if you are interested in MAC eyeshadows, my recommendation is to really pick out a couple pieces, like staple shades, you know, because I think a lot of us are already so used to buying eyeshadow palettes, and so when you want to build something with single shadows, I think it's smarter to go with staple shades or shades that you don't have in your collection that you're looking for, and not just to build this entire thing. Like this is what it's come down to for me, but it started with 8 or 9 of these palettes completely full of MAC shadows. So be selective with your purchases. These go for $8. I think people are confusing the MAC shadows with being in the pot. I would much rather, I think many of us already have a magnetic palette, just buy the refill pans that go for $8 on MAC. So going in with Red Brick, look at that. Just a little tap on my eyes. So yes, MAC can do brights too. They can. I guess it's more of whether or not this is, you want to, you know, take the plunge and spend the money on it. Like, you see that? Really bright, and I'm not packing much on my brush. And you're going to be able to see just how smooth these shadows really blend into each other. I do not vouch for every single MAC shadow. I've said it once, I will say it again. They are not all the same. There we go. Get that blending brush, go back to Rule, and just kind of back and forth right here. Blending them together. So easy, so simple. Nice. Now I'm going to take Ground Brown, put that in my outer corner. We're getting into the neutral shades now. See that? That was really quick to build that opacity on the outer corner. And again, blending it into the shade above it. So simple, so easy. And then inner corner as well. Again, just blend the edges. I'm leaving the center bare. I'm going to take a flat shader brush. This is a dual fiber brush from MAC, the 233. Taking bronze and putting that majority of the lid. I love this tone of bronze. I like that it doesn't pull very yellow. Some bronzes do. This I feel is a true bronze, kind of an antique bronze, if you will. And then I'm just gonna flip my brush and I'm going to go in with Amber Lights and pop that dead center. Kind of brings a little bit more gold to the look, and then that bronze around it. Very subtle difference, which is something that I prefer. Okay, so that is the eye look. Let me get the other side done and then we can move on. I'm also going to be applying some lashes and telling you what those are when I come back. Okay, so here is the eye look pretty much done. I wanted to show you which lashes I'm using. This is from LP Beauty in the style Autumn, and this is their 3D luxury mink lashes. I really have been enjoying them. They're pretty much what I use on the regular now. They're so comfortable, even though they are a little bit more pizzazz than I normally use. So we're gonna go back. I don't do lower lashes, we know that, but I gotta show off what I can if I'm doing an eye look, right? So I'm taking the shade Rule, which is that transition shade, popping that on the lower lash line, and then I'm gonna go in with Red Brick and then just get even closer. So I'm kind of buffing this a little more haphazardly through the lower lash line. Second shade, and then other side. I'm gonna take a pencil. This is Costa Riche. Yes, it's an eye kohl from obviously MAC, and that is what it looks like, just a really dark brown, and I'm gonna pop that in my waterline. I remember when I used to just pop black on my waterline. That was, you know, way back in the yesteryears. Nowadays I much prefer a brown. I just think it's more complementary and less harsh. Mascara, this is not a MAC product. I think the last MAC mascara I had was a sample. I know I've always wanted that Giga Black mascara. I think it has like a blue cap on it for the lower lash line because it was always recommended, but I never did it. The eye look is done and we can move on to the rest of the face. So I have this MAC Sculpting Powders palette thing, and I need to pop it out of this little palette because I don't know what shades I'm using. So this shade here, this first one, is in Bone Beige, just in case you're wondering. All of these are amazing. Never buy a compact sculpting powder from MAC. It is useless. This one is in Sculpt. These have the best pigment and the best blending ability. So this next one here, I think this one's my favorite. I use it all the time. This is Shadester. You guys see me use it all the time. And then this dark kind of shadowy shade here. I think this is shadowy. Yeah, shadowy. And you know, you mix and match. Like sometimes I want to go a little bit more bronze, sometimes a little bit more neutral. Maybe pop this in the hollows. Really just depends. So I'm gonna take this one, Shadester. It's my favorite, so use that. Oh, so good. Can't believe I always question whether or not to declutter this. It's so dumb of me. I love it, but it's like, it's so bulky, which is why I know I bring it up like, am I gonna declutter it? Then I use it, I'm like, no, it's worth the space it takes up. Now I'm gonna contour my nose, and I'm gonna use Bone Beige. Let's use that one. It's not as orange. Just go down. So pretty much from the bridge of my nose, going down, underneath. Give my nose a little lift. And kind of go across it to turn it up a bit. And then we take the powder brush, nothing on it, and just kind of blend that out a little bit. I'm going to use Peaches. I felt like out of all the ones that I own and is still available at MAC, this is the most fitting for this eye look. I'm going to pack the crap out of this blush on the cheeks because I love it. I don't want to tell you how old some of these blushes are, the ones that I own from MAC, because you will be disgusted. I'm just being honest. But I still use it because it only goes on my face. And if anything happens, it's gonna happen to me. Full transparency, this is easily at least 8 years old. 8. You see the pigments coming off? Not stinky. All right, beautiful. For highlighter, this is an MSF in Cheeky Bronze. This is not the natural Skinfinish, the powder formula. This was the original highlighters. Soft and Gentle, ring a bell. This was before they started making highlighters. This was highlighter back then. We didn't call it that, but this is basically what it was. It gave your face that glow and you put in the high points of the cheeks. I remember going to MAC counters in the MAC store and being like, what's that? And then the makeup artist would show you where to put in. You're like, oh my God. We didn't used to put on the nose or whatever, but definitely just to like highlight the face. I wouldn't say MAC kept up with the times, you know, much after the boom of the makeup industry, but they definitely started a lot of stuff, you know? They were ahead of their time. Shut up! This shade is more of a blush topper for me, but I still put it where I want to put it, you know? Oh, so pretty. Such a nice, like, baked glow look. It's not overboard. It's just amazing. Before we do the lips, I'm going to put Fix Plus. Love me some Fix Plus. This does not make my makeup stay any longer than it already does. For me, it just takes away the powdery look and everything kind of looks really blended and meshed into each other, which is good, right? So for lips, I have a lip liner and a lipstick. I wanted to see what this combo would look like. I don't know. This is Chicory lip liner, the shade here, and then Yash lipstick. I love Yash lipstick. Right there. We'll see where it goes. Apologize, I had to stop recording because I took a phone call from my niece. She wanted to say good night, and that is far more important than this video. Okay. Such a good color. Back in with a pencil. Alright guys, so here we have it. This is the final makeup look of almost a full face of MAC. Almost. Very close. I really do hope that you enjoyed spending this time with me, watching this video, got to see some of these MAC products that I still have in my collection that I've had for, you know, a lot of them for quite a long time and is still being currently used by myself. So I think it's fair to say these are pretty much staples for me. A full list of products will be listed down below. Everything that I have on my face, the shades that I use. You can also check me out on Instagram for all of my makeup looks. There I will post a photo of my makeup look along with all the products in the caption. Till the next video, I hope you all are doing well, taking great care of yourselves. I will see you all next time. Bye guys.